Hello students, in this video we take a look at applications of solving linear equations. To solve linear applications, there are really three steps that we want to employ. Step 1 is we first want to determine the givens and the goal of the problem. Step 2 is form a strategy, solve, and check. And then step 3 is to write our answer as a complete sentence. Make sure that what we've solved makes sense. Let's take a look at our example. Maria is planning to sell funnel cakes at the local community fair. The cost of ingredients is $264. She plans on selling each funnel cake for $1.50. Her profit, represented by P in dollars, for selling F funnel cakes is given by the formula P equals 1.5 times F minus 264. What is Maria's profit if she sells 100 funnel cakes? And how many funnel cakes does Maria need to sell in order to break even? This problem comes in two parts, so let's look at each part separately. The first question is, what is Maria's profit if she sells 100 funnel cakes? And I wrote down the formula. Recall that the formula is P equals 1.5 times F minus 264. And in this formula, P, just to recall, P is her profit, and F represents her number of funnel cakes. So P is her profit, F is the number of funnel cakes. So to do this problem, the first step is to determine what our givens are. We note that Maria's profit is what is unknown because that's what we're looking for, right? So we don't know what Maria's profit is. That's an unknown, so that's going to be the letter P. But we're looking for that profit when she sells 100 funnel cakes. So in other words, we are trying to find P when F is 100. And I'm going to restate that problem. So that means for us, we want to find her profit P when F is 100. And how do we do that? Well, we simply take 100 and we plug it into our formula. So we have P equals 1.5 times 100 minus 264. The first thing we need to do in order to evaluate that expression, 1.5 times 100 minus 264, is to actually do the multiplication step. That means we want to take 1.5 times 100, and that's simply 150. So that means P is 150 minus 264. P equals, and now take 150 minus 264, and we're actually going to get a negative number, right? In other words, she has a negative profit going on. She has a loss going on. She has not sold enough funnel cakes to break even. Why? Because her original cost was $264, if you remember, and she's selling each of them for $1.50. And so there is a certain amount that's going to give her a profit, but it's definitely not 100 funnel cakes. So we would say that her profit is negative $114. I think part 2 actually asks for her break-even point. So let's take a look at that part. Part 2 of the application problem asks how many funnel cakes does Maria need to sell in order to break even? Break-even point means when your profit is 0. So really, we're looking for the place where the profit is 0. So let me restate that as a question. So what is F when the profit equals 0? Or in other words, what value of F will yield a profit of 0? That's when Maria will break even. when she doesn't make any profit and doesn't have any loss. So what do? To find F when P is 0, it's almost self-explanatory, right? We're going to take 0 and substitute it in place of P and then solve for F using our processes to solve simple algebraic equations. So let's put 0 in place of P, and that's 0 equals 1.5 times F minus 264. Now, how do we solve this equation? Let's recall our steps. We want to isolate the variable F, and our first step is to do the add-subtract property of equality, or the addition-subtraction property of equality. In our specific case, we're going to have to get rid of the minus 264, and in order to get rid of the negative 264, we want to add 264 to both sides of our equation. So on the left side, we have 0 plus 264, which yields 264. And on the right side, we have 1.5 times F plus 0. But that's just 1.5 times F. Great work so far. So we're almost done. That next step now is to use, let's see, well, here we have F again, and we're trying to isolate F. It's being multiplied by 1.5, so we have to do the multiplication division principle. So I'll just write down as a little reminder, we want to use that multiplication division principle. And in this specific case, we want to divide. So 1.5 is being multiplied times F, and in order to undo multiplication, we're going to do division. So we're going to divide both the left side and the right side of that equation by 1.5. Doing so, on the right side, we had 1.5 over 1.5, or 1.5 divided by 1.5 is 1. 1 times F is F. And on the left side, we have 264 divided by 1.5, so that's going to give us 176. That means we have 176 funnel cakes needed, or Maria needs to sell 176 funnel cakes in order to break even. So Maria needs 176 funnel cakes in order to break even. That's it. So when solving application problems, we need to look at our givens, then solve, set up our equation, solve, and check, and finally state our answer as a statement or a sentence. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and good luck with your homework.